You're locked into Hits 92.3. The views, stories, and opinions shared on this program belong solely to the hosts and their guests. They do not represent the views of Hits 92.3 Radio, management, staff, partners, advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. And if you don't know what any of that means, listener discretion is advised. Now sit back, turn up your volumes, and enjoy the content from one of the greatest, dopest radio personalities to ever touch this microphone in 3, 2, 1.
Look, let me get it. It's about another one, I put it on your fitted. Willing here, baby, but who the baby sit me and play? They can stomach it, they put it running shit it. I'm a Booker T and 95, can you dig it? Okay, we coming for you niggas, say it, I meant it. Downtown Atlanta, I was running by the city. When I found out I can really do it, so I did it. I'ma rock this shit like I want to. I'ma fuck around and move. Go against the tribe, you can fuck around and lose. Shit hit so hard, they can fuck around and sue, and I'ma win. I'ma win that, this my house, you a house, get Sinbad. Picture me a goat, when you step it, can you sit that? We gon' drop this and they gon' feel it like an impact. I'm a different type of nigga on the microphone. And I'm from the 6, see we talking about his own. And I'ma let y'all have it right now, it's all about me, let it my song. If you want smoke, boy, you better buy a bone. Me and Teasy, we in the zone like we by the zone. If you got heart, you can ride along. Y'all can't see me to the end of the show. Bicon, wait a minute. Me and Blade finna make another run again. Me and Blade finna make another run again. Me and Blade finna make another run again. Me and Blade finna. Me and Hand finna make another run again. Me and Hand finna make another run again. Me and Hand finna make another run again. Me and Blade make it to the whole summer.
I like it, I like it, I like it when you jam. I like it, I like it, I like it when you jam. I like it, I like it, I like it when you jam. You know who I am, you gon' get this dance. I like it, I like it, I like it when you jam. I like it, I like it, I like it when you jam. I like it, 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 yeah, I like it, yeah, I like it, yeah, I like it, yeah. What if I told you to shake this shit on, shake this shit on, shake this shit on? What if I told you to shake this shit on, shake this shit on? What if I told you to shake this shit on, shake this shit on, shake this shit on? What if I told you, what if I told you, what if I told you?
I'ma stand on my bitch naive. I know kid, ain't no kid by me. I ain't playing, I'm for real. I was inside C, but I see I gotta fuck it up again. Lights, please. Oh, I got him, but I gotta hit him with a light feed. When I'm on that stage, don't nobody hype me. I'm the franchise boy, but don't got a white tee. And ain't over to the lady saying in the right key. What you say?
I'm working. Ooh, like I ain't got no money.
Let her work in, let her work in, let her work in,
I'm working.
let her work in.
Like I ain't got no money. Let me say it again now.
What you say?
I'm working. Like I ain't got no money.
Let her work in, let her work one time. What you say?
I'm working.
Let her work in.
I ain't got no money.
One time, what you say?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Karen the Connector. You are tuned into the KTC show here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. And today we're going to have a real conversation. And we're going to talk about growth and the part that nobody warned you about. And because evolution sounds good, but until it requires separation, everything feels fine. But once you have to settle into that growth and that elevation, that's when things get a little hard. And we're going to talk about that on all different levels. So basically, this is the summary I wrote for this show. Sometimes it's not about adding more, it's about letting go of people, letting go of places, letting go of the version of you that got you to this point. And sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we have elevated to a certain point, and who we were and what we were doing and how we were operating, it got us there, and it's got us there. But what is going to take us to the next level may be a shift that you have to take in your life, and that may mean letting go of people, friends, relationships, and things and habits, all kind of things. And we're going to talk about that today on the KTC show. And if you want to join in on this conversation, you can call in at 404 254 4347. 404 254 4347. If you want to call in today and join me on the show, I have no guests today, so I'm gonna need somebody to talk to, and I would love that to be you. So call in and let's talk about it. So first things up, um, I'm just gonna talk about, and I'm using my phone today. Um, Growth will cost you, and are you ready? Letting go to level up. So let's talk about it. Growth sounds good until it gets uncomfortable. So growth can feel lonely, it can feel guilty. And I know personally me, I'm definitely not the person that I was not even 6 months ago. So sometimes when you grow and you're elevating, it could get really lonely because the people who are growing and elevating too, they're busy. You know what I mean? We all got things going on, especially if you're focusing on your goals and you're making moves and you're doing this, you're doing that. It's kind of hard to relate to people who are not. So that's when like the lonely part comes in. And when you moving and shaking and you're trying to reach your goals, and then you try to, you know, confide or vent or talk about it to somebody who was not, that's a hard thing to do. They don't understand, and it's not that they don't care, and it's not that you don't and it's not that you don't appreciate their opinion or whatever, but sometimes they just don't understand because they're not there. They're not there, and not saying that they're not on your level, they're just not where you are. So sometimes growth can be lonely. It can be because sometimes I'll be like, I feel alone, even though I'm running a group. We got almost 60,000 members, women, and I have my circle of friends. I have like different circle of friends. There's a time, and I know somebody will probably say, Karen, don't if you ever feel like that, go. I know that, but just sometimes I feel like that, and it's not long lived either. I don't sit in my loneliness. I know how to get out and uh and socialize and be around people and have a good time. But there's times when, sometimes the things that you go through are so like unique, or you don't want to share that with everybody. Sometimes you just want to go through it by yourself and then accept that lonely feeling and get over it. And next thing is growth isn't about gaining, it's about releasing. Um Signs that you're outgrowing something. Some conversations don't align with anyone anymore. So that's exactly what I was saying, that signs that you're outgrowing something is when conversations don't align anymore. Sometimes I might be in a group chat or a group conversation, and I'll be like, I know what y'all talking about, but I right now I got so many other big fish to fry that I can't even concentrate on what y'all saying right now. You know what I mean? One of my colleagues, friends, she called me yesterday venting about, some like little peon stuff that somebody tried to, kind of get her all in a tizzy about. And I was like, girl, I know. you not tripping about that girl calling you about that. Almost like what people told me last year when, when I was getting cyberbullied and all the things. And they were like, Karen, you got all of this stuff going on. Why are you worried about? And that's when you're growing. When people try to drag you into stuff that you don't even understand and that frustrates you, that probably you would have kind of tuned into, that's when you're in a different space now. You know what I mean? You're in a different space, and that those conversations don't even align with anything that you have going on. And another sign is that when you feel drained instead of inspired by the people that you're surrounding yourself around, and that the people you're communicating with every day, when you gotta take a deep breath after every conversation with the same person, you need to kind of reevaluate that relationship. And sometimes it's not even about, I put the word release, but and I said this to my cousin earlier when I was talking about the show that I was going to do, sometimes people, they just need to be released to another area of your life. You know what I mean? Like, totally cutting people off. I've never done that. I've never burned bridges. I've never did that sort of thing. Like, just totally put somebody, unless something bad happened to where, it was a total disrespectful situation, or, I just had to. I even have people who have stopped talking to me, but if I see them, I'm speak. You know what I mean? So some people just need to be pushed into a different area of your life to where, when you're ready to have those conversations that they want to have, or when you're ready to indulge in some foolishness or whatever, hey, you know who to go to. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you are consistently communicating with a circle of people or doing something that drains you all the time, you need to reevaluate that thing. You need to reevaluate that relationship, and work on changing that, or it's going to drain the life out of you. And another sign is when you're being pulled back into old habits, because you're a new person now. You're elevating, you're doing the thing, you are reaching all your goals, all the things, right? But if you meet someone, or even if you have someone in your life from your past or from your present that is pulling you back into old habits that you don't enjoy anymore, or that don't serve you, you know what I mean? I have habits that do not serve me, but most of the habits that I have is me. It's not nobody else. I don't have it. I don't have to have anybody else to indulge in the habits that I'm trying to get rid of around me. I could just be me all weekend long, just habiting. But so those are some signs that you are elevating into a new space in your life, and that you need to possibly change your surroundings, possibly changing the places that you go, and the conversations that you're having. So that's my entry to the show. And I'm just gonna take a quick break and get situated over here with Sunshine, and play some commercials, and we'll be back right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
We can stay in Harlem or be bougie in Manhattan. Go to Magic Johnson's or just see whatever happens. Yeah, I'm a simple girl, I don't need anything. Rain or shine, I don't mind. Like Sinatra, baby, fly me to the moon. Take my heart into a rocket and just shoot it, baby, straight into the blue. I don't need no wings, 'cause tonight it's on you, baby, fly me to the moon. Fly, 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 fly. We can watch the sun drop, we can run the arcades, barefoot on the boardwalk, making out the whole way. It ain't no pressure, babe, I don't need anything. Rain or shine, I don't mind. Like Sinatra, baby, fly me to the moon. Take my heart into a rocket and just shoot it, baby, straight into the blue. Hey, I don't need no wings, 'cause tonight it's on you, baby, fly me to the moon. Hey, hey baby, fly me to the moon. the moon. Take my heart into a rocket and just shoot it, baby, straight into the blue. Hey, and baby, fly me to the moon. Hey, hey, oh yeah.
My name is Joey H. This is the headband, and this is our submission for Tiny Desk. This song is called Tour Bus, and I wrote this about taking this all over the world and where music can take us. Tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out, tricked out, tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. Yeah, Dan Ron Shoddy. I dare someone to stop me. Dare someone to jump and I throw it home. Spinning full of winners, hit the map on my mobile phone. Paradise the extra, we can stop cause we very close. Shaking hands with a fan on the west coast. They ask, am I nervous and for rap what I want most? Anxiously, I smile and laugh, try to think about an answer. It's basically like, I want it all, I need the rain to flee. Been under dark clouds so much it's been a pain to see. Patient, but I'm 28, I'm pacing around the question. Bro, I need some payments, G, back to it. I'm like, man, I just wanna live. Show the world to my girl and our future kids. So I'm on road, got a show to kill, moves to make. He bought a tea and said, good luck, I know you're making life. Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out, tricked out, tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. I tricked out. Woo! True story, started this record back in 17. Rapping about everything I never seen. Tried to write it down so I could make it happen. Now me and Mike on flights to Denver for the tour of madness. Now that is magic, should've stayed with all is possible. So watch your every move, it's only right, I gotta prove. Believe it's right, I mean these people with OTs. From my 40 days of sleep of faith. Started with these writings just to formulate a better life for me and mine. It's been a climb, but we still going. Thankful for every moment, glad we make it every morning. Now we rewarded for the free shows we prayed on. These C notes, one dive in my wallet like free throws. I prayed for this. Now this time here, feel like the greatest. Years later, we still singing the same. Taking risks, catalogs and passion. And remember when we happened to trick out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Yeah. Tricked out my tour bus. 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 Let's rock. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out. I tricked out. Tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out. Tricked out. Tricked out. I 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 tricked out. Woo! Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Thank you.
Are back here live on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. This is Karen the Connector, and I'm here every Thursday from 2 to 4 talking about what you've been looking for. So we're talking about growth. We're talking about just changing your environment while you elevate and reach your goals, and talking about changing the person that you are. No, not changing the person that you are, being the person that you are has brought you to this point in your life, and it's helped you reach all the goals that you've reached. But is the person that you are able to take you even further? And signs and reasons why you may need to change your environment, change things around, just so you can reach those next set of goals that you have in your life. And the next segment is outgrowing people. So outgrowing people, that's friends, circles, even relationships. And first, we're going to talk about the guilt of leaving people behind. I have experienced this on the highest levels. And um, sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, especially with people that you love or people that you have commitments with. And it's a hard thing to do. And sometimes you have no choice but to do that. And it's a hard thing to do. And the thing you have to evaluate is the loyalty versus alignment. Like, is your loyalty to that person greater than your, what you've been destined to do, what you've been called to do? And I know so many stories that I've heard about this, but I have my own, and it involves a lot of different areas of my life. Even jobs that I didn't want to leave. I was like, "Oh, I love it here." Da, 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 da. But then when another opportunity came along, even I was paying more flexibility. Sometimes I knew I had to leave, but it was hard to do it. And I just had to realize that God put me in certain places so I can grow there. And I was just talking to Mr. Lewis. He owns the Cynical Coffee Shop in Austell, and he also owns Best Way Financial. And he also just opened up a new coffee shop near Cumberland Mall. And we were just talking about how I used to work for him and all the things that he had me doing. And I told him, he was like, "Karen, don't forget me." I said, "I will never forget you, Mr. Lewis," because under Mr. Lewis, I had learned about being like a servant leader. And even though the pay wasn't as much as I wanted it to be, or I knew I needed to be somewhere else, I learned how to be a servant leader under Mr. Lewis. I mean, yes, I was working in the office, but when he opened up that coffee shop, and I'll never forget the day I was in the back office working, and Mr. Lewis came back there. He said, "Karen, we need somebody to clear the sink at the coffee shop. We need somebody to wash the dishes." And I was like, "Okay, Mr. Lewis, I'm going over there." And I went over there and washed the dishes, put on one of the plastic vests, and I busted those suds. And I just remember just being like, even though that was my job, I understood what it meant to be a servant leader, because that's what he is. And so there's purpose in places that you are. You know what I mean? But still, sometimes that's not where you need to stay. And you learn things and you learn different skills. And they say that about, people and working their jobs, working their full-time jobs, but they have a job on the side. Yeah, you're learning when you're working a job, you're learning how to be a business owner as well. You know what I mean? Showing up on time, doing what needs to be done, completing every task that's given to you, accountability, all those things that you learn when you're working for someone. You need to take that all in, because if your desire is to be an entrepreneur, you're going to use all those skills that you learned working for someone else. And then you learn, and then watch the person who's owning the business, watch what makes them successful, watch their demeanor, what they need to get done. And so after Mr. Lewis, I started working for my cousin, and working for him took it to a whole nother level. Like, I learned a whole new set of skills, and I watched him, and I watched how he operated, and I watched his commitment to his business, and I watched how he communicated with other business owners and people with money, making negotiations and signing contracts and all those things. So, there's purpose in where you are now. And there's a reason why you're in those places. And you just need to, focus in on what you have going on, and know when it's time to, take yourself somewhere else, so you can learn those new set of skills, and elevate and reach those next set of goals, and go into the next season of your life. So that's what I did. I took in everything when I was working at Best Way Financial slash the Cynical Coffee Shop. And then while I was working there, I sold Avon, I sold jewelry, I worked at summer camps, I babysat, I did all those kind of things. And I believe, no, I know for a fact, those things are what brought me to this point. But is that person that was working at the summer camp? Is that person who was selling jewelry? Is that the person that I need to be right now to take myself to the next level? No. Yes, I can remember, and all those skills that I developed um brought me here. You know what I mean? But right now I need to hone in, and I'm talking to myself right now. Hone in and refocus on my next level, my next set of goals. I have a lot going on. Women of Douglasville has been taken to a whole nother level, and it's very significant, especially being in other community groups and different, just seeing how other, different areas of the city operate, and they have something similar to what I have. But one thing I know for sure is that what I have going on is something different, and that's good. That everybody needs to have something different. Only and everybody needs to have something different because you're different. You know what I mean? Like, so what you have going on is for you, and that's the biggest thing I always tell everybody. Like, I know you see what they got going on, and you want it too, but do what you do. Do it how you want to do it. You know what I mean? And then it'll be, your thing, because nobody can be you. Nobody can be you. Only you can be you. And that's a fact. So let's see. The next thing is you could love people and still outgrow access to them. So that's a true fact. And that's what I was saying earlier. I still love everybody. I still love everybody that I communicate with. I still love my different circles. And you can too, but certain access maybe need, like, okay, I'm loving you right here. We do these things and we talk about these things, but you know what, that over there, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to involve myself in that anymore. And that's very important. And so, and that, set boundaries. If things become complicated, sometimes you have to say, you know what, stop asking me, because I'm not doing it. I'm not going there or whatever. And you know what I'm talking about. So you know how that will pertain to you in your life, and I know how it will pertain to mine. And the next one is places and environments, jobs, routines, environments that once worked. And that's exactly what I was just talking about. I got ahead of myself. That's a true thing. Sometimes you put me in an environment I'm not supposed to be in. I'm a act accordingly. I'll do things that I probably wasn't planning on doing. Um, who knows how that could even end up. You know what I mean? So um sometimes you outgrow the places and the environments, the routines. Like right now, the routine that I had a year ago in my household needs to be totally revamped, and I'm still stuck on that, like still trying to figure out what works. I'm newly divorced, so I now certain things that I didn't have to do before must be done, like must be done. And so I'm still trying to figure out that routine. It was a lot of time where I just kind of sat like, what's going on? I guess I'll get the hang of this. But now I realize it's going to take a lot more effort and a lot more focus to develop these new routines that I need to develop for me and my children, so we can all be successful, so we can all, make sure we have the right things going on. And it's solely on me. I know my kids are teenagers now, so sometimes I'm like, yeah, you about to be 16 years old, you about to be. But leadership is important in your household. So, and they're gonna follow what you do. You know what I mean? So if you laxy daisy, they're gonna be laxy daisy. If you act like you don't feel like getting up in the morning, they're not gonna get up in the morning. If you feel like you don't want to hang your clothes up, they're not gonna hang their clothes up either. So I have to kind of build myself to be like, okay, I know I told y'all to clean up this. I know I told y'all. So now I have to get some kind of, I don't know. I feel like lately I have to get some kind of, I don't know. Like this morning, like sometimes I have to go off. You know what I mean? I'm not used to having to do that. Like go off for them to understand what I really want to happen. So that's a new thing for me, but sometimes I just have to go there with them. So comfort versus calling. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's meant for your next level. And that's another thing. A lot of things you get comfortable doing, that's not that's not where you need to be at. Sometimes we feel so comfortable just in a certain place, and it feels so good because that's where, that's where you were. That's where you what you were supposed to be doing. But no, some now the familiar things and the comfortable things, it's time to get uncomfortable for a minute until we reach those goals. So, outgrowing yourself, and this is a deep one. Old mindset, old fears, old identity, reintroducing yourself to yourself. And I'm going kind of fast, but I'm going. Reintroducing yourself to yourself. And it reminds me of this song called l- uh it's called Lady Lady by Olivia Dean. And she says, "That lady, she's the man. I think she has a master plan." And then one of the verses said, "God, I used to love this house, but I'm moving out Sunday morning." And then she says, "God, I used to love this hair, but it's changing every day." Like she basically, I used to love all these things, but now I got to move out this house. Now I got to change my hair. You know what I mean? And now I got to do this and now I got to do that, but I have to do it and I'm going to do it. So I love that song. It resonates with me so much. So if you got Spotify or whatever, look it up. It's a good song. I love Olivia Dean too. Shout out to Olivia Dean if you ever watch us one day. Um, so yeah, that's a hard thing to do is to reintroduce yourself to yourself. Like I would say every 6 to 8 months, in my the group that I operate, Women of Douglasville, we get so many new members all the time. So every now and then I have to introduce myself. Hey, my name is Karen Campbell, the founder of the Women of Douglasville. La da dee la da da. You know what I mean? But sometimes you gotta reintroduce yourself to yourself. Okay, Karen, I know who you was 6 to 8 months ago, but this is who you are now. Embrace her. Okay. You all that old stuff you had going on, you ain't got that going on no more. So embrace the new you. Reintroduce yourself to yourself. And I swear I am preaching to the choir right now. So the hardest version to let go of is the one you used to survive. Golly. Golly. Sunshine. The hardest version to let go of is the one you used to be to survive.
So Be Totally Fit said, we are called to be a servant leader. They also said, I trust God in the space that I am in, and I know it's for a greater purpose. They also said, that's deep. Introduce yourself to yourself. And by the way, this is Wanda Bullock.
Oh, hey, Wanda. Okay, yeah. Reintroduce yourself to yourself. So that is some deep stuff. And I am going to reintroduce myself to myself right now. Karen, I'd like to introduce yourself to the new Karen, the March 2026 Karen, who has reached so many goals. She has been on magazine covers and she's about to be on another magazine cover on April 1st. She's taking her kids to Puerto Rico. She's managing her household. She is elevating. She has grown her group to 60,000 members. She has two other side businesses brewing in the cusp, and her car is almost paid for. Her children are beautiful and striving, and has overcome all kind of adversities. Embrace her, Karen. This is the new you. So nice to meet you, Karen. That was kind of deep. I shouldn't have did that. Anyways, golly. Because the thing about it is the hardest version, like I just said, the hardest version to let go of is the one you use to survive. I used to be one of those people who This was one of the versions of me. I had a lot of different versions of me, but I used to be a shut the hell up person. Like, and I want to say another word, but I'm not going to say that. But that was me. I knew I was a master at shutting up. Even when like I had a disagreement, um, I just didn't I didn't like what I was like what I was hearing, like what I was involved in. I remember times that I would just be mute. I would just let it happen, or I would just like stay in that environment or be like, dang, whatever. Golly. Now I'm like, no, I don't feel like doing that right now. I can't go. I I gotta get off the phone. Hey, I got a call in a minute. So can I get back to you on that? La 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 la. La. I am quick now to exit left. You know what I mean? And I still am working on that because I could see myself falling into that here and there in different places. But um yeah. So that's part of the new me that I'm liking that part of this new Karen and speaking up for myself. And mm, the next part is navigate growth without losing yourself. Give yourself permission to evolve. And sometimes that's another thing, like just reintroducing yourself to yourself. Sometimes you have to say, Karen, okay, now it's time. Go ahead, girl. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta speak to yourself. What Yolanda Adams, encourage yourself in the Lord. You gotta speak to yourself. You gotta speak life into yourself and almost verbally give yourself permission to go on and let those things go and let those people go and let those conversations go and move forward so you can elevate and so the people that you love around you can elevate because they're watching you, your children are watching you, your friends are watching you grow, and you're inspiring them. And so just imagine if you stop everything you got going on and refuse to embrace this new you and elevate. Just imagine who that would affect and who that would negatively affect. So I know last week I had got an award for Women's History Month from the chairman of the board, Ramona Jackson. Um, and Whitney Kenner Jones, my commissioner, was there, and all these, community leaders were there. The room was full, and I had my children with me. And usually I go to these events by myself, but something was like, Karen, take your kids with you, let them see you get this award. And I was, they were reading my bio, and I turned around to look at my kids, and they were smiling so hard. They were so happy. And I was like, wow. And I don't even know why I go to these. Sometimes it's such a hassle bring your kids with you places. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. But this time I made sure they were with me, and I'm so glad I did, so they could see, what their mom has accomplished and how she's being recognized in the city that we live in. And that's important for the people that you love and the people that you are trying to impact and you want to impact to see you elevate and get awards and be recognized and on a certain level. And I just think that was very important, and I'm so glad that I was able to do that. So setting boundaries without over explaining, that's another thing that I've learned to do too. I remember a couple weeks ago I was supposed to be at a birthday party. Told this guy I was coming to his birthday party. I had seen him the day before. I'm coming. I'm gonna be there, and I'm bringing my friends with me. Okay. The night came, and I was laying in a bed, and I was like, I cannot get out this bed. I'm not going. And even my friends that I invited to go with me, they went. And I was like, listen, y'all, tell them I said happy birthday. I can't go. I'm staying in the house. I couldn't even imagine getting out the bed. And I remember, I know for a fact the person I was about a year ago would have pushed myself, went and drank a whole bunch of water, and took a pain pill, whatever, to get myself out of bed to go to a birthday party. No, sometimes you have to choose your own self over just a thing. And he understood. He was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm feeling good. Oh, yeah, it's okay, girl. Da, 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 da. So, sometimes you have to just stop over explaining. Like, I could have just been like, I couldn't make it. But, I was like, oh, wow, I couldn't make it. I was sick. Da, 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 da. Sometimes just a no is enough. And that's the song that I sent you. It's not mainstream media, so I don't know how that would work. It's, I took a picture of my Spotify screen. Anyways, um, she says, first of all, no. Second of all, no. Third of all, no. She said, if my yes brings confusion, um, if it brings, if it takes my peace away, if it is doing something to my health, the answer is no. And the song is kind of deep. I listen to it, and it's the truth. Sometimes you have to say, okay, now, if I say yes to this, is this gonna stress me out? And I ain't gonna lie, something I said yes to a couple days ago that's coming up in the next couple weeks. I feel like maybe you should have said no, but I already said yes. So here we go. Um, so yeah, you gotta set boundaries and not over explain. Sometimes even over explaining it gives you stress. Like now I gotta tell this person, la la la. No, you don't, unless they paying you or paid you. No, you don't. You don't have to over explain yourself to certain people for certain things. Like clients, people who are paying you and they expect you to do a certain job that they paid for it and something like that, or you gave them a product, something like that. But just regular stuff, I'm not over explaining myself. I can't make it. Okay.
So Dia Wilson is here. She said, "Great discussion. It's time for growth." She also said that she needed to hear this. Be Totally Fit says, "I am no longer obligated myself. I no longer obligated myself and the need to explain. I chose me. I am the priority. My silence means no."
Mm. Yeah. Sometimes stuff don't even need an answer. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get emails and I read it. I'm like, what the? I can't even believe they asked me that. I'm not even responding. You know what I mean? And certain things don't even need a response. Sometimes, being in the position I am in, I've experienced a lot of backlash, more so now lately than ever. I'm not even responding to it. That is so under beneath me. And that's a reason why I knew, I'm elevating and I need to embrace my elevation because certain things people would say about me, or if I would see it on the internet, I would be like, I can't believe they said that about me. Women of Douglasville is such a great group. I do all this and or Karen, she doesn't even help anyone. Nothing. This group does nothing for the community. What? First of all, what I wanted to say was, I'm gonna say it. When I help people, I'm not broadcasting that. When I buy somebody's groceries or put them in a hotel room, I'm not broadcasting that stuff. And then if I did do it, y'all be like, look at her broadcasting every time she helps somebody. So you can't even win for losing. You know what I mean? So yeah, you might think somebody's not doing everything, but you don't know everything. All you know is what you see on the internet. So I get baffled when I see people press judgment on others, especially me, because you do not know me. Some people know me, some people don't. And you don't know what people do for others. And not everything needs to be broadcasted. One of my friends yesterday, she called me to she was very upset saying that somebody accused her of taking money and not helping people in need, da 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 da. When I know for a fact this woman helps so many people, so many young people. And I was like, girl, you need to pipe down because what you saying, you first of all, that's not true. Second of all, that conversation is just beneath you. Don't even feed into it because you could tell she was hurt, hurt. Another friend, God, look, just two friends in one day. Another friend, she's getting a lot of, backlash on, some of the decisions she's making and the processes she's going through, I'll say. And, just being treated very unfairly, very mean. I mean, she was hurt. And sometimes we have to look at the people that are saying those things to us and that are trying to spew that negativity and on us and look at them like, who, you know what, you got problems, you need to go get some help because I'm not even about to brace this negativity. I'm not about to brace this toxic behavior. Whatever you got you going on, you keep that over there, you keep that where you are, you know what I mean? So yeah, golly. And so I won't even say lastly, but find yourself a community. Hmm.
I truly believe that in the city of Atlanta, and I say the city of Atlanta, I don't mean Georgia, I don't mean whatever, but here in Atlanta, if you cannot find your group, if you cannot find your community, it's a you problem. Because there are so many different types of people in Atlanta.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's not that small town living type deal. There is someone for everyone.
It really
And
is.
unless you are just so closed off and narrow-minded, unless you are waiting for people to come to you and you're not taking yourself and putting yourself in different rooms or being in places to be around the people that you want to be around that are like you, it's a you problem. You cannot tell me that you cannot find your tribe in Atlanta.
Even if you ain't got no money.
You cannot tell me that you cannot find your tribe in Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
the one place. This is the one place that I believe anybody can find their tribe.
I believe it. And then and that's the beauty of going to networking events. And then sometimes you might need like 3 tribes. You might need a tribe for this, a circle for that. I have so many different circles of friends. And then sometimes we're all, all my friends are together, or if it's a celebration or whatever. But I have different circles of friends. You could find your tribe. And that's the beauty of going to networking events and getting out and kind of socializing in different areas. There's a lot of free things to do in Atlanta. And a lot of free things to do. And I will say that's one reason why I love Women of Douglasville, is because sometimes a woman might go in there and be like, anybody want to go walk in at the mall? Anybody want to go out for some coffee? Hey, I got a project due. Anybody, working on something, come, meet me at the library or at the coffee shop and we could work together. Or you work on what you got, I could work on what I got. Or let's go have a drink tonight. Anybody want to, hit fin and feather? And then the women will respond. And there's so many different relationships that have brewed and have come together in that group that I'm like, wow, that's wonderful. You mean to tell me you met her 5 years ago in WOD just by hanging out with her and inviting some girls out? And I love to see it. A lot of people are like, Karen doesn't want that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love to see somebody say, hey, anybody want to hang out tonight? And then I see pictures the next day of all the women or 6 or 7 women together having a good time, communicating and building relationships. It's important. It's important to communicate and get with other people. A lot of people like to just stay in the house and I don't get out much. I don't have any friends, or I just moved to this area. Get out. And if you don't have anybody to get out, if you have a specific thing that you like to do, I promise you there's somebody else that likes to do that same thing just as much as you do. And all you have to do is open your mouth. And in a community, like especially in community groups and specifically Women of Douglasville, just open your mouth and say, hey, I like to go roller skating. Anybody want to go to Sparkles or what's the other one in Atlanta? Let's go. And then you will have people like, I haven't roller skated in a long time. I used to love to roller skate. When are you going? So yeah, find your community and find people who have some of the same goals as you, because the person who you likes to go roller skating might not be the person who you talk to about, reaching your goals and working on a business plan and things of that nature. So you might have another circle of friends that talk about those things, taxes and budgets and stuff like that. So find your community and find your circle of friends, and they will naturally help you plug into your elevation. I promise you. That's true. And trust your instincts. I'm not going to get into that. I think I'm going to take a quick break because I'm going real fast. And pretty soon I'll be like, and next week. So we're going to get into trusting your instincts in a minute. We're going to take a quick break, play some commercials, and we'll be back right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
I gotta be thankful because I know someone lost their life today. And so every moment I endeavor to live life the righteous way. To serve with a sense of purpose and let love light the way. Even if I die today, that's just the price I pay. Just know I try to be kind and seek the divine every night and day. Gratitude for the sunrise, gratitude for the sunshine, gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new life, especially when I meditate. Take a breath and then I elevate. Everything deserves gratitude. As It's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. It's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. It's my everyday attitude. Gratitude is the fruit of life, the nourishment of the soul when there's no food in sight. When your vibrations are low and you feel blue inside, gratitude is the attitude that gets you through the night. Never believe in lack or limitations. Anything can be manifested with a little appreciation. I appreciate my life. I appreciate my breath. I appreciate my sight. Gratitude for my health. Gratitude is the happiest mood. Even if I happen to lose, everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. It's how you should live. It's how you should be. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. That's how you should love. That's how you stay free. Yeah, 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude.
Body image and positivity are major impacts in today's society. At Nurse to Beauty, we believe in bringing the beauty from within to the forefront. For those of you who are planning to have cosmetic surgery, Nurse to Beauty is ready and available for all of your post-operative needs. My name is Dontricia Dunham, and I am the registered nurse and owner. I have over 10 years of experience with emergency medicine that has aided me in giving quality medical care for cosmetic surgery clients. We specialize in a number of safe and effective options and solutions to help you achieve your ideal body image. Have a one-on-one virtual consultation via phone or private suite location. Have your lymphatic therapies and all other post-operative needs performed by a licensed medical professional. Mobile post-operative services are also available upon request. Not interested in cosmetic surgery at this time? No worries. We also provide an array of body modification services to fulfill all of your beauty enhancement requests. We understand how costly aftercare can be after a cosmetic surgery. Ask about our affordable payment plans today with instant approval and no hard credit check. Log on to www.nurse2beauty.com for more information. Call or text 404-849-0260. For education, client transformations, and reviews, follow all of our social medias at Nurse to Beauty. See you next time.
Every day is a new choice. We make our beds and we lie in them.
heart wasn't there. I handle business on the weekday, but you can have me on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Take it from me, from me, from me. Take it from me, from me, from me. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Take it from me, from me, from me. Gonna be hard. Take it from me, from me, from me. Oh. Damn right, I wanna see you again, but I'm not ready for no love affair. And still you ask me what is happening, when I told you that my heart wasn't there. I handle business on the weekday, but you can have me on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to wait. Take it from me, baby. Take it from me, take it from me, take it from me, baby. If you wanna be my weekend lover, it's gonna be hard to leave. Don't wanna leave me alone. From me, from me. Take it from me, from me, from me. Oh.
All right, we are back here live on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. This is Karen the Connector, and I'm here every Thursday, almost every Thursday, from 2 to 4, talking about what you've been looking for. I said that because I had to take a couple breaks. I had things going on the last 2 Thursdays. But anyways, every Thursday from 2 to 4, talking about what you've been looking for. So make sure you are following us on Instagram. Make sure you are following us on Facebook, Hits 92.3. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, where we go live for all of our shows. And so you can see other radio personalities here. We have some great shows. And if you are interested in having your show or starting a show or a podcast or whatever, come talk to us. Go to All Hustle No Fear or email us at hits923 at atl@gmail.com. Send an email or just let me, or you can contact me and I'll get you the right information to connect you. So this week's show is about letting go of things that aren't helping you elevate and take you to the next level, letting go of who you were before and embracing the new you, reintroducing yourself to yourself. And the last thing I want to talk about is trusting your instincts. As a connector, as a professional connector, I've seen what happens when women and men get in the right rooms and how growth accelerates when they're in the right rooms. I've seen it. I see it all of the time. And that's why I like being in different rooms. I like, meeting different people who are doing different things. Last Saturday, I hosted a women and men's empowerment event, and it was so nice. It was really nice. And I just met so many different people who are just into so many different things, and connected with them all, got contact information, because pretty soon those things that they're doing, I want to try to do something like that, like getting grants, government grants. There was an expert there. He was talking about all of the grants that are, not all of them, but just a lot of the grants that are accessible to small business owners and things that we need to take advantage that are free to the public. And it was just very eye-opening. And that's something that I want to kind of tune into in the next few months. So it was just really good. So I suggest that get into the right rooms so you can elevate and go to the next level, connect with the right people. And so I'm going to open up the call line. So anybody who's watching today, if you're not watching, if you're watching the replay, you can just comment on the video you're watching. And the question I want to have for you is, have you ever outgrown a friendship or a relationship? I know I have. Um, I have a friend that I've been friends with this woman for has to be almost 20 years. Yeah, almost 20 years. And all of a sudden, it was just like our relationship is nothing like it used to be. Of course, still wishing happy birthdays and celebrations and things like that, but the relationship changed. And it's because, she went to another season in her life that didn't align with me. And, I was going into my single life, she going into her married life. So, that didn't, connect, and it could have, but it just didn't. So, and it's fine. And I still love her. She still loves me. I can still call her. But it's just different now. And that's okay. That is okay. And hmm, the next one is, what something you've outgrown but haven't let go of? Mm, I'm gonna let y'all answer that question because I got an ear full on that. And it's not something I really want to talk about on the air. And the another thing is, do you struggle more with letting go of people or old habits? Hmm. Both for me. I have a problem with letting go of people. I really do. I love people. I love so hard, and I embrace people in my life like on level 10. So it's hard for me to let go of people that I have, embraced and poured into and loved on so hard. That's a hard for me thing for me to do, but um I've done it. I've done it only because I had to. And another thing is, they're both, the struggle with habits is just as hard for me as the people thing. I think the habit thing is worse than the people thing. I know how to be like, okay then. But a habit, especially if it's a habit that I have that I can exude in private that nobody has to know about, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do. If you have a comment on that, please call in 404-254-4347. And have you ever felt guilty for growing? I have. I have. I've definitely felt that multiple times. Um, Especially like in my uh marriage. I always felt guilty for growing in a different way than he was. So I'll just say that. And I always wish, like, golly, come with me. Like, come on. And once I said, okay, well, this is not where we're going together. So, but just even looking back, sometimes I feel guilty. But I let go of that, I guess. Even though I'm about to cry right now, golly. Um, but yeah, so that is the closeout on that conversation. Hopefully you got something out of it, because I know I did. I was really just speaking to myself right now for the last 45 minutes. And oh, I needed it too. But yeah. So growth will cost you. The question is, are you ready? Are you ready to let go? So that's the end of that conversation. And I want to go into a new conversation, if y'all don't mind. Um so on my last show, I had the owners of Healthwise Medical here, Rain and her husband. And they talked about peptides and semi-glutides and all these new age ways to lose weight and redefine your body. And it was some great information shared. If you go on YouTube, you'll be able to see the replay of that show. Well, about a week later, called me, or she messaged me and was like, Karen, we want to put together a total body transformation package for you. And I was like, what? And an offer that I could not refuse. Do you hear me? So I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm already on GLP-1s, which has worked tremendously for me. Um, if you go back to my old shows, you'll see just how big I was. And I know I'm still big, but I was bigger. Okay. But yeah, so they worked tremendously. I've lost almost 75 pounds. 75, almost 80 pounds in if I was a little bit more active, even just a little bit more active and changed my diet, I probably would have lost more because I've spent almost over a year since I started it. But um it's that habit thing. So your appetite is tremendously cut down. Like sometimes I could eat just a bite of food, especially if it's right after I take the it's trizepatide. Um, and then, but when I do get hungry and I'm like, I want to eat something like real good, like some chicken wings or something that's not good. And because I know I only have that window of hunger. So I'm like, shoot, if I'm gonna eat right now, I'm gonna eat something good. So instead of eating like a tray of vegetables or something like that, but I do indulge in like vegetables and fruits. Like I can eat a handful of grapes and get full sometimes, especially if it's close to me taking my shot right after I take my shot. But that's not what I'm talking about this afternoon. I'm talking about this body transformation that about to go through that you guys are about to see because I'm documenting everything. Um, I went to my first visit and I actually made a video and I put it on my Facebook page. So if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll be able to see um, the video that I created of me. Them explaining everything that they'll be giving to me. So on Tuesday, I'll be going every Tuesday, and right now I'm taking glylutathione, some starts with a G, along with the trizepatide, a mixture of B12s, and something for to accelerate the fat burning process, right? And I'm not gonna lie, so I just got the shots. I'm sitting there, and as soon as she gave me the glylutathione, it starts with a G, and hopefully Rain is watching right now. Maybe not, but it's glylutathione. Anyways, whatever this is, it helps with the inflammation in your body. And me personally, I have a history of lupus and which is an autoimmune disease, which causes me to have hip pain so bad, like to the point to where they're talking about like hip surgery, all the things. Um, so I have spurts of times when I'm like limping or just in major discomfort. And yesterday, when she gave me that shot, I was like, oh my God. It was like almost like a euphoric feeling, like just walking to the car. I was like, what the heck was that? And it lasted for the whole day into the next day, which was Wednesday. And then I finally felt like the euphoric feeling came, like it wore off a little bit, and I just felt good. Like right now, I feel super focused, clear, and of course, that B12 gives you that boost of energy, and that B12 just is good all the way around. So I'll do that all for 4 weeks, and then in the next 4 weeks they'll kind of add other peptides on. And this is kind of gonna do a lot of things. Like it's gonna help me burn fat. It's gonna help with my hormones. I am perimenopause, so it's gonna help with that, and it's gonna help with the inflammation in my body and detoxing my system. So and even cell regeneration. So damaged cells that are in my body, that's gonna help regenerate those. And I'm just happy to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. And it's something that I always like wanted to. I never understood it. You see people in Hollywood, they're doing all these things that make them look so smooth and beautiful and all those things. And like, wow, I wish I could do that one day. And now here we are. So I'm going to document the whole process. So if you are on any of my social medias, I'm going to just record videos. I'm not sure. I tried to do a TikTok, but it got taken down. So I must have said something to make. I never got a TikTok taken down. So I must have said something. So I got to figure out what the guidelines for TikTok is. But I will be recording my journey, and I'll be talking about it on my shows on Thursdays. Right now, I'm feeling good. I'm 3 days out of my first dosage. And I feel good. I feel clear. I've been running. So I don't know what it feels like to actually be rested and feel this way. So I'm excited about this journey, and shout out to Healthwise. They're on Brownsville Road in Hiram. And so you can look that up. You can Google them. If you want to know how to reach out to them to see what's available to you and what you can take advantage of. Let me know and I'll get you their information. But it's Healthwise on Brownsville Road in Hiram, Georgia. So shout out to them. Thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm excited. I'm excited to document it and, just see what kind of changes I'll be looking at in the next 6 months. So I'm excited about that. And the next thing I want to tell y'all about is Passport Day. Unfortunately, Passport Day had got rescheduled. We had Passport Day scheduled for, I want to say it was in December of last year, maybe November, and the government shut down. So when the government shut down, of course, the passport office had got partially shut down. I guess whatever part of the office that does these events and does these outreach events was not able to operate. So now we've rescheduled it to April 11th. So it's going to be at the same place, One Family Resource Center in Douglasville on Stewart Parkway. It's going to be on April 11th from 9 to 3, I believe. But registration will open tomorrow morning. I'll be working on that flyer. I got to get a whole new registration form because, now there's different guidelines. But you will be able to get your passport processed at the One Family Resource Center on April 11th in Douglasville on Stewart Parkway. So shout out to the Georgia State Passport Office for giving our community, the West Side, an opportunity to come out on a Saturday. If you have children that you want to get a passport for, you don't have to pull them out of school that day. It's going to be really convenient and fast. And I believe that even the passports themselves and applications will be processed a little bit faster because of the way we're doing things. And so you may be able to get your passport in half the time that you would have if you went to the post office. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be a part of, connecting the community to an opportunity to have that convenience of going right to the community center and getting their passport. So shout out to the One Family Resource Center for allowing me to have that event there as well. But that's about it. That's all I have planned. And also, if you want to be a vendor at the event on April 11th, reach out to me because I'm going to open it up to some travel agents and community leaders. Anybody who's running for office, you want to have a table there to kind of meet the community. I would love for you to join us on April 11th. Just reach out to me and we can get that going. But that's about it, Sunshine. That's all I got for the people today. I'll be back here next Thursday talking about what's going on next week. Hopefully TSA has got things together because I plan on taking my kids to Puerto Rico on the 4th. And I'm already seeing videos like, oh my God, I just don't want to. And it's an early morning flight, which I think is a good thing. But, traveling with children and all the things and going to Puerto Rico, I've never been there before. So y'all just pray for me and hopefully that goes well. Hopefully the government gets everything tied in together before April 4th. And but yeah, I'm looking forward to spending spring break with my children and their friends will be there too. So it's going to be a fun time. But I'll see you guys next Thursday here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
All right, so Slim, you still got the way. All right, Sonya Blaine, what up, though? Kenny Misfit, what up, though? Yeah. 2 hour, man. 2 hour, man. 2 hour, man. What? 2 hour, man. 2 hour, man. What?
I'm in the clouds when I'm with you. Girl, what's your name? I hope this don't offend you. Tastes like cocaine. I